Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to this service of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst. We are so glad to have you have chosen to spend this time with us. We know that you have many options and obligations on a Sunday, and we are grateful to have you here. And also, as a tag along to the prelude, I hope you'll find what you are looking for here today. My name is Lori Kaznicki. I've been a member of this congregation for a little over 20 years and a UU for almost 40 years. I am currently on the Green Team, Connections, and Justice Advocacy. Our minister, Reverend Michelle Buchheit, has been on sabbatical. She returns to the pulpit next week. But today we are welcoming Reverend Michelle as our song leader. Our speaker today is John Snodgrass. It's John Snodgrass, who many of you are familiar with as he is here frequently. For those gathered in the chapel, please turn your phones off completely to ensure that our online community is able to participate without disruption. Turning off phones means that we are also less likely to experience sound issues in this space. We also have assistive hearing devices at the usher station at the back of the chapel. If you're new to Unitarian Universalism or to this particular congregation, I invite you to relax and participate as fully as you are comfortable. You're welcome to move when we move or to remain seated. We trust you to do what is right for your body and spirit. In this space, in person and online, there are many identities. Not everyone experiences the world the same way or necessarily believes the same things. What matters is that we keep love at the center of who we are and what we value. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, you are welcome here. Let's gather ourselves together as we open our hearts with a morning song. Gathered here, number 389 in the gray hymnal.
Look at y'all. So when I sat down a little while ago, I thought, oh, there aren't enough people to do a round. How wrong was I? So we are going to do it as a round, because that's how we roll when I'm here. The long timers are rolling their eyes all the way back to their heads. So I'm going to have Rick play the song through once. It's a very simple chorus. And then we will sing it together once. And then group one is over on the right of the chapel. And group two, see, we're not going to do 4 parts. We're only going to do 2. Group 2 is on your left. All right, Rick. Go. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the war. Spirit, draw near, group 1. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here.
Well, good morning. Good morning. You're all looking very healthy and a little bit blurry today. Yeah. No, I'll be all right. Because this one comes from the oral tradition. You know, Marty was driving. He missed his turn. He found himself hopelessly lost. And as he just went winding down this labyrinth of country roads, he passed by a little shack and he saw an old man sitting on the porch. So he pulled over. He said, "Excuse me there, sir. Do you happen to know the way back to the highway?" The old man said, "No, I don't." He said, "Well, do you happen to know the way to the nearest gas station?" "No, I don't." "Well, do you happen to know the way back to the nearest street that's actually named?" "No, I don't." "You don't know much, do you?" The old man said, "Well, son, I'm not the one who's lost." Welcome to this place which we make holy by our presence. These doors are open to all. Bring your brokenness and bring your power. Bring your early morning aches, your fatigue, and your energy, for here you need not hide nor pretend, nor be anything other than who you are and who you are called to be. Come into this place where the ordinary is sanctified, where the human is celebrated, where compassion is strength. Welcome to this place. Together we make it a holy place.
Each week when we gather, we begin with a land acknowledgement. Joining me today for this ritual is Barry Zava. In this rite, we honor our connection to the earth and offer our gratitude to the only planet in the whole universe that can create and sustain us. We pour this libation to symbolize our commitment to care for this precious home for our spirits, to speak and act on behalf of the earth, and to seek to partner with those who are indigenous to this place, that we and our descendants may also bless and be blessed. It is our custom when we gather to also light a chalice. The chalice is a cup or vessel that symbolizes the gathered community and is the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Please join me in our chalice lighting words. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Our gathering music is found in the Teal hymnal, numbered 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. Let's rise in body or spirit as we join our voices in song. It is our custom to make time in the service to acknowledge the joys, concerns, sorrows, and other realities that we bring with us, affirming that every single bit of who we are can be held in this container of love. We embody this by placing a stone or shell on one of the shared table labyrinths at the front and back of the chapel. This is your invitation to bring your whole self here.
Good morning. I've got this box here. What does it sound like? It sounds like something heavy walking toward us. It sounds like heavy footsteps. Well, it's suit. Oh, shoes. Yes. Well, let's find out. Do you want to find out what's in there? Go ahead. It's a book. Well, this is actually a very special book, and I wonder if some of you have heard this book before.
I heard a little bit of it before.
And we are going to hear a little bit of it today. This book is Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. And the journey of this book is a little bit long and actually gets a little bit sad. And I won't tell you how it ends. But today I'm going to share with you just the beginning of it and something that I think is very special about this book is that when I was your age, I had the experience of hearing this book, and it really sounded like it was just about me, which, really bothered my younger brother because he thought it was just about him. And even a few years later, when I'm this age, I still hear this book and I think this is just about me, but I read it to my children and they, for whatever reason, think it's about them. So I'll tell you a little story from this book. And it begins like this. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. See, that was clearly about me and not my little brother. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the one who will decide where to go. You look up and down streets, look over them with care. About some, you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down, and in that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. Now, that is the beginning of this book. And right now, you all have a special place to go, while the rest of us have to stay here. So, we are going to sing you along on your way. I'm going to give them a moment to exit the room because I don't want to give away any surprises for the children who are here. Good, they're gone. Let's talk about them. My son had his first sweetheart and his first breakup. No, that's not quite right. Nobody goes through a first breakup. It's like in 1914, there was the Great War, the war to end all wars. And then 30 years later, during a much bigger war, someone looked back and said, oh, let's start calling that the First World War. And then another 30 years went by and somebody said, just call it WW1, which makes it sound like a televised wrestling match that you're pretty sure was scripted. Your first heartbreak is apocalyptic, a Chernobyl in the kingdom of your happily ever after, scorching your heart's enchanted fairy tale forest. It is a once-in-a-lifetime disaster, the pain to end all pain. My son went through that, and I'm not making fun of him. What's funny to me is that this was my first breakup as a dad. And I'm unique, he's unique, we have a unique connection. But you find yourself playing a pretty generic role in a pretty standard script, where you say things like, you are special, so is she, the connection you had is so special. But a breakup is a breakup. You gotta follow the steps, go through the stages, doubt yourself, grieve the loss, slowly learn to walk and talk and put a spoon in your mouth again. It's a pretty common procedure. I haven't had one since before you were born. Well, since before he was born. But as far as I know, the only update is that back in the 20th century, part of the recovery process was that you would pick up a phone receiver, dial 6 numbers, and then just sit there staring at it for 1,000 hours until somebody came in and said, hang that up, we're all expecting calls. That's more complicated now because you got to go online and remember 6 different passwords to sever the connections in all of your social media platforms. You have to log out of the relationship and sign in to being single. And I guess that's part of the healing process. Anyway, this comes to mind because our topic is the labyrinth. And Les, in his sermon on the topic a couple of years ago, said that ritual is what has always already happened. And the labyrinth is a physical manifestation of that. It has always already happened. And a breakup is one of those labyrinths that we walk. And at each blind turn, we fear that we may forever lose ourselves, that we may never find our way out. And our dad gives us some really reasonable advice that sounds impersonal and obsolete. But in the end, we realized that it was a well-worn path that others have walked before. And reaching the center is not the end, but something that we pass through before finding a stronger version of ourselves right next to the place where we began. From the inside, the labyrinth looks like a maze. Like you could take one wrong turn and get trapped forever. But a labyrinth only has one path. And if you keep moving forward, you'll find your way out. There are multiple labyrinths here on the grounds, and they have many uses. It's a meditation exercise where you bring some particular question or pain into the path. And as your legs pump oxygen into your brain and your inner compass keeps changing north, south, east, west, and the breezes push you and the hidden moon pulls you from all directions until you begin to feel like you can see your issue from all of these different angles. The spiral or labyrinth is one of the oldest known symbols in human expression. And they've been found all over the inhabited earth. I mean, people who were not in communication with each other came up with this independently, and they all felt this very deep connection with this type of symbol. For some reason, known only to God and Charles Darwin, each of us has 20 little labyrinths at the tips of our fingers and toes, the outermost extremities of our bodies, each of them completely unique. And the core, the deepest core of the human body, is a twisting tunnel of intestines. The symbol is written deep inside of us. Nobody knows how this mysterious shape came into being or what it originally meant. It's older than any written story. The labyrinth symbol was around for a long time before the myth of Theseus and the minotaur maze, which was created to explain the destruction and mysterious ruins on the island of Crete, and really to justify the sacking of an ancient city. We should beware of its explanation of the labyrinth's origins because the story was told by enemies of the culture that built it, long after that culture had fallen. The myth of the Minotaur is itself a bit of a labyrinth. About 10 years ago, I wrote a book about the legend of Theseus, which I called The Minotaur. And then one night I felt that was too pretentious as a title. So as a joke, I changed the title to Romancing the Minotaur. And having chosen the title in haste, I now get to regret it at leisure. But I got to know the story well enough that I think I can lead you through it backwards and in high heels. Actually, no, I don't think I can do anything in high heels. But 2,500 years ago, this is about half a century before baby Jesus, the poets, politicians, and philosophers of Athens were congratulating themselves on devising the world's most rational justification for injustice. Let's not forget, every written law code is written to make hierarchy seem as natural as gravity. And the Athenians were patting themselves on the back, or more likely getting their servants to pat their backs for them, about having overcome the dark ignorance of tribalism, the chimera of Egypt, and the barbarity of human sacrifice and cannibalism. They attributed these advancements to their ancient king, Theseus, who had lived 1,000 years before them. This was 1,000 years before Sophocles and Socrates. And they passed around these stories about Theseus defeating a cannibal beast on a nightmarish island. They told the stories, they put images on their walls and their coins and their pottery, but nobody wrote it down. The Romans eventually wrote it centuries later, but the Greeks never wrote their own version of the Theseus myth because they needed the story to remain adaptable, able to express different ambitions in different ages. Now, the site of the Theseus story was the island of Crete, which was a popular prehistoric tourist destination. There were mysterious ruins on the island of Crete that were as mysterious to the ancient Greeks as Stonehenge is to us today. There were foundations of what looked like a maze, with passageways and chambers and a big rectangular opening in the center, about the size of 2 tennis courts. Now they knew that Theseus had come to this island in its heyday, and that he'd won some kind of bullfight. So they set the battle with this cannibal chimera monster inside of this, what they thought was a maze. Why had Theseus come? Well, the guy was basically a pirate, but it sounded better to say that he had come to rescue someone, a bunch of Athenian teenagers who had been sent there to be sacrificed. and the priestess who helped him to get through the maze, and then he kidnapped her and dumped her on an island where she hanged herself, was recast as a princess in rebellion against her own people and customs. Clearly a sign that Theseus was a good guy. How had the bull-headed monster come about? Well, that became kind of a dirty joke about the Greek gods punishing these islanders by driving them into insane bestiality. Well, that was their story. Now let's jump back again, another 1,000 years. Now it's 3,500 years ago, long before classical Athens and classical Greece and all of that stuff. One of the first civilizations on Earth was on the brink of collapse. The people of Crete had built this multi-story apartment complex and shopping mall back when the Greeks were still in the trees and caves. What we're looking at here actually is the floor plan, the last ruins of a city that was called the Labyrinth. And the city was this multi-story apartment complex, and if you can imagine, it had light wells with mirrors so that the natural sunshine could light all of these interior rooms. It had the world's first flushing toilets with wooden seats. It was a place where the arts flourished. While Egyptians built stiff monuments, the people of Crete specialized in wall frescoes that gave the impression of fluid motion. And at the heart of the city, this rectangle there in the center, that was a sporting arena where they played the bull game, which was not a bullfight, but a sort of dance, where a bull and an acrobat would charge at each other. And just as the bull lowered its head to gore this person, the acrobat would leap up, grab the horns, and flip over the bull's back to try to land on their feet behind it. And they did this in their underwear. We know this because the people of Crete, one of their favorite things to put on their wall decorations was these elaborate pictures of this bull dance. Then at the end of the bull dance, the bull would be brought to the center and sacrificed by their high priestess, and then it would be fed to all of the people of the city as this big barbecue party. The city was built like a beehive, and the high priestess of the city was its queen. The name of this city, Labyrinth, came from the nation's symbol, which was a double-headed axe, not a battle axe, but a double-headed axe used for harvesting barley. And this was in the Lepidoptera shape of a butterfly, a symbol of peace between the plant and animal worlds, and a sign of metamorphosis. Plato's myth of Atlantis may have been based on a garbled recollection of this utopian city experiment, and then it got smashed by a tidal wave. After that, the pirates from the mainland invaded. That's how King Minos took charge, and the city run by priestesses fell into the grip of a possessive and greedy king. And then apparently came the younger pirate, Theseus, who kidnapped the next in the line of priestesses, breaking the chain, and the whole thing came to an end. I do wonder if he may have had to dance or fight with a bull in the ruins of this bull court, but that's only speculation. I know the story's like a bit of a maze. Long before the height of Athenian smugness, when the ancestors of Aristophanes and Aristotle were picking fleas off each other's backs in a cave somewhere, perfumed priestesses were running experiments in building beehive-like cities on the island of Crete and the valleys of Turkey. And the destruction of Crete by a tidal wave and the fall of Troy by trickery left an opening for the barbarians to become the self-congratulatory Spartans and Athenians, whom we call the ancient Greeks, with their pillars and togas and systematic child abuse and human trafficking. Then, after a few centuries, they wore their topsoil out and got bulldozed by the next wave of pirates, whom we call the Romans. The symbol of the labyrinth existed long before Theseus and the Minotaur. It's something that has always already happened. And yet, while the spiral dance remains the same, the meaning can keep adapting and evolving. And so the symbol of the labyrinth can be read as a reassurance of the cyclical nature of fertility, or as the soul's journey toward salvation, or as the ego's quest for individuality. Or it can be a maze where the little boy escapes from his maddened father in The Shining, or where the teenage girl gets inexplicable feelings from staring at David Bowie in leather pants. The fourth principle of Unitarian Universalism is a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. And right now, you might be searching for meaning in this widening gyre of things I've said, or simply feeling that I've searched for meaning irresponsibly. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it means, or what the labyrinth symbol means, because I don't think that this sermon should boil down to some diner placemat where the monkey finds the banana at the end of the maze. We all search for meaning. And the quest that we have and the meaning that we find depends on what we bring into it. The answer is not the same for all of us because we all bring different questions. And that means that even when we tread the same well-worn path, walking a labyrinth or listening to a sermon, we each get to go on our own journey of discovery. There are labyrinths on earth that humans have walked for thousands of years. And there are natural cycles and adventures in human life that we have shared for millions of years. And we don't have to say that's what it means for everyone, or everybody eventually finds the same thing in the middle of the maze, even if we look back and find that what we have gone through has been gone through before. We can feel lost in our labyrinths, and then over time, we gain insight, and we see someone else feeling trapped in the maze, and we say, you can get through this. Like watching someone you love deal with loss and grief. And you can't just straight up tell them, people have walked through this fire and survived it before. But you can at least have patience with them as they stumble through it. It reminds me of an old story. A father took his son for a drive because the boy was really sad, and the father really wanted to help talk him through it. And as they drove along, and as the father got to talking, he got so interested in the sound of his own voice and what he was saying that all of a sudden he realized, oh, oops, I think I just made an illegal turn. The son said, it's okay, Dad. The cop behind you just did the same thing. Thank you.
Our song and response is found in the Gray Hymnal, number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing. began our service with the lighting of our chalice, and now we will extinguish the chalice as soon as Barry gets here. Not to quench the flame, but to return it to individual hearts, strengthened by this time spent together, so that we can share our light in the world. Please rise in body or spirit and join your voices with mine as we extinguish the chalice and sing our blessing. And remember to twinkle your eyes at others during the third verse of the blessing. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Together we have sanctified this space. If you have found strength and comfort here, share some out there. Remember that you are blessed and you are a blessing and you are not alone.
I like that.